This video will show you how to replace the batteries on National's 2900 ride on Scraper. Unplug the battery pack from the front of the machine. Disconnect the hood latch in the front of the machine. Loosen and remove the bolt from the rear cover. Lift the rear cover and loosen and remove the bolts that hold the battery crossbar in place. Remove the bar. Remove the nuts from the bolts that attach the rear cover and the seat cover. Remove these bolts. Remove the rear cover and remove the seat cover from the machine. Loosen and remove the screws that hold the remaining battery crossbar in place. Remove this battery crossbar. Use a side cutter to cut the zip ties that hold the boots in place for the terminals where multiple cables are attached. Remove these boot covers. Now remove the cables from the machine one at a time. It is good practice to mark the cables so you know where they go when you put the machine back together. Inspect the cables for damage and replace any if needed. Remove the wires that hold the backup beeper. Lift the backup beeper wire out from between the batteries and route it to the front of the machine. Loosen the bolts that hold the back support plate. Move this plate out of the way. Using proper lifting technique, remove the batteries from the machine. Loosen the backup beeper and slide it rearward. Remove the bolts that hold the back support plate. Remove the back support plate. Using proper lifting technique, install the new batteries. Be sure to put the dividers between the batteries. It is important to have the batteries oriented correctly. The leftmost batteries of the machine have their positive terminals facing the rear. The center batteries have their positive terminals facing opposite directions. The rightmost batteries, both front and rear, have their positive terminals facing the front of the machine. After the batteries are in place, tap the remaining divider in place. Reattach the rear divider plate. Tighten it in place. Slide the backup beeper forward and tighten it in place. Reroute the backup beeper cable between the batteries and attach it to the backup beeper. Be sure to note the proper polarity of the wires. Reattach the battery cables, making sure that you put the battery cables in the right locations. Replace the 2 cable boots and attach with zip ties. These go on the battery terminals where multiple cables are attached. Reattach the battery crossbar with the screws and tighten. Set the seat cover in place. Set the rear cover in place. Insert the 2 bolts between the seat cover and the rear cover. Attach the nuts to these 2 bolts and tighten. Close the seat cover. Latch the front latch. Reattach the rear battery crossbar and tighten the screws. Close the rear cover. Tighten the rear cover in place. Reattach the battery cable. Reattach the electrical cable and turn on the breaker. Test the machine.